Well, Dave, that feels like another massive 3 points today. Were you worried it wasn't going to come, though?
I'm not sure worried the word, more frustrated than anything else. Do I think we deserve to win the game? No. Do I think we deserve to lose the game? No. So I suppose the longer it goes, you're looking for a spark. We had a couple of moments, but very little. And then a great ball from Ibby inside and a brilliant finish from Odin to win us the game. And as frustrated as I can be in terms of our performance, because I know we're better than that, the most important thing is that we've got 3 points, and that's the case. So it's been a brilliant weekend for us.
It felt like it needed a spark, and it came from, sort of, in my opinion, two sources in that second half. One, the substitutions, which made a difference for you. One of them scored a stunning goal. But also the fans as well. They sort of came alive after 75 minutes, didn't they?
Yeah, I've said before I'll talk about the fans first, the importance that they'll be over, especially over the games here, because we had a lot of it last year with teams setting up in different ways to try and frustrate, and there's going to be adversity along the way. We can't always play well. I'd love us to play well all of the time, and that's why there's a frustration, because I see the capabilities of this group have, and I see the capabilities in terms of I look at us in possession on Friday and how good we were compared to in possession today, and how ineffective we were, and you can't afford to be that up and down over the course of 3 or 4 days. And I suppose, as from a management perspective, you toil with, do you make changes, do you freshen things up, or do you go, I thought our performance on Friday was brilliant and didn't want to change too much, but we are going to be reliant on the supporters recognising when the team needs them. Yeah. Because as frustrated as they'll be, the players are as frustrated, because they know what we've got, and you've got to give opposition credit for that. Some teams will come and set up differently. There's not a divine right for a team to do a certain thing. You only have to watch again. You look at the two of the best teams in the certainly in the country, but in Europe, like yesterday in the game, it was drab. It wasn't good. There wasn't loads of quality, but there's really good defensive play. Apart from the penalty that's given away, which I've not seen back, but I'd question. We've defended well enough to earn ourselves a clean sheet, and I've said before, as much as I don't like it, if we're horrible and not at our normal level, and we come away with a clean sheet and we take a point and it's a 0-0, then that we have to do that. Now, we've done that today, but we've had that one moment of magic that's won us the game. In terms of the subs, I said before, the games to the players, especially on when you've got either Saturday, Tuesday games, and this looks like a Saturday, Tuesday game, even though it's Friday, Monday, you're missing a few hours, you're a few hours earlier. Your subs are always going to be important if we choose to go with the same team, which we did, and the impact that they have on the bench. So whether it's securing the game, going to win us the game, or getting us back into the game, do your bit, have an impact. And they've done that in the fact that Odin's come on and scored us the winning goal. Again, did it change the dynamic of the game massively? No, I don't think so. It was going to be pretty frustrating. We were slightly more attacking. We knew that Noilly wouldn't last the game, so then you make a decision to bring Ibby over to this side and go a little bit more attacking with your wing backs. But it was generally man to man all over the pitch. That's always going to be tough. Always going to be a bit of an arm wrestle. But happily, we've come out on the right side of that.
You mentioned the penalty decision there, and as an exponent yourself, I'm sure you appreciate the long throw which caused the havoc to start with, but you don't feel it was a penalty?
I just think the way that, so I'll go back for the rest of that first half, the way they were defending against us and people grabbing people and I'm all right with that. Yeah. But that's going to be the same all over the pitch, not just because it's in the penalty area, it doesn't count. So if we can be blocked and marked, grabbed, whatever, in corners at this end, then the same applies at both ends for me. And it's more around the consistency. If that's a foul, then fine. But there was things went on after that incident at this end of the pitch
that
weren't given. Now, I'm okay as long as, if that's the way we're going, that's the way we're defending. At least you know where the line is and you can stick to that. But we knew we'd have to defend those moments. That we knew set piece wise there'd be a threat. and in most instances we've dealt with it. But it's always going to put you under pressure, and I would love someone in our team that could throw the ball from the touchline to the middle of the box.
I know it's a let-off, the missed penalty, but for the second game running, I mean, you've not conceded a shot from open play. Ben's not actually made a save now for 2 games running. So what does that tell you about your side and the way you set up defensively?
I think everyone plays their part within that, and we certainly don't set up to be defensive, no. But we work really hard off the ball, and I think now we're either joint top scorers and then second in terms of goals conceded. So we've got a good balance of what that looks like, but there should be a desperation to keep the ball out your net. And right from the front of the pitch, the work ethic to stop balls being played forward, stop balls going in your box, stop shot, all them things is fantastic. And a good team success is going to be built on that. I think you look at some of the teams in this division. I know Notts County, MK Dons have finished 3-3 today. I said back when we played them, when Luke was at Notts, they were the best team we played, but they've conceded, I hazard a guess, at over 70 goals this season, which over the course of the season, unless you're scored 140, that's not going to end in a good place, and they're in a position in the league where, based on what they've done, they shouldn't be. So there needs to be that balance. I would like to think we've got that balance right, because we've continued to create chances to score goals. But fundamentally, if you can be aggressive in terms of how you play going forward, but also minimise the attempts on your goal and keep clean sheets, then you have a chance of winning games like we have today with one moment of magic, which we've done. And that has to be, especially this part of the season, that has to be the minimum for us, because it gives us the best chance.
You talked about subs earlier, and obviously it is a squad game. Louis Barry comes back into the squad this week. I know he's going to have a full week's training with you, full contact as well. How soon do you think the county fans will see him back out there in the blue and white?
That's out of our control a little bit, if I'm honest. The plan through Aston Villa, and we'll obviously speak to them this week, was for him to be involved, or capability of being involved against Colchester. Yeah. We'd hope to try and bring that forward, and Louis hopes to bring that forward to Sutton, but that, like I say, that's out of our control. We'll be totally guided by them, and no one would ever put him at risk, but he is, as you would expect, really, really keen to get back involved. He's been great around the place in the days that he's been back. So at worst, I'd say Tuesday. At best, maybe Saturday. The hope for us is that at no point in the next 6 games do we need him. But he's great to have there, and we know that the dynamism that he showed while he was here, and without question he wants to get back on the pitch, and without question he wants to, I suppose, feel the elation of scoring in front of Stockport fans and being able to celebrate and be part of something that he was a part of at the start of the season. And again, we'll do everything we can to make that happen, but it needs to be right for everybody.
Just finally, you mentioned Sutton away next Saturday. A very different proposition from when they came here. You beat them 8-0. They changed managers obviously since then, and now I think 4 wins in a row, and they're out the bottom 2 all of a sudden. So that suddenly looks a very different and more difficult fixture than perhaps it would have done a few weeks ago. Yeah,
I think it's always a difficult place to go. It always has been. Yeah. That's not changed. They've got a slightly different philosophy in terms of how they go about it, but they're a big physical team. Yeah. They've got a massive threat from set pieces, long throws, all them bits don't change, but they play a little bit more and will look after the ball, and that's down to again, change of manager and the philosophy of how he wants to go about it. As I said before, the Forest Green game, they're playing for something that for them is important. We're playing for something for us that's important. We've got to make sure that our objective to us is more important than theirs to them, and we see how they go about it. Again, I've said prior to coming here, I don't know what Wimbledon saw today as a good result for them if it was a point, and I'd do the same going to Sutton. I suggest them being at home, they'll want to be aggressive and go about things to try and get 3 points. So makes for an exciting game, like I say, one that we're really looking forward to, go into it in the position that we want to be, with an opportunity to get another 3 points, and we'll do everything we can to make that happen.
I know you've been in this position before, Dave, but 4 points clear with 6 to play. Are you able to enjoy it at any point?
No, listen, you're not gonna. I enjoyed bits of Friday because you're 3-0 up. I enjoyed bits of MK Dons 4 and 5-0 up, 4-0 up, where I suppose you can breathe and relax. But as much as it is about now, it's you have to look a little bit further ahead. It's about us improving and us thinking of what we need to do at this stage of the season, and say, people will say, oh, your experience and experience you've had before, how do they guide what you do? Well, our experience of what's going on at the moment will certainly guide us further down the line, because how can we get better when we're in this situation again, and how can we control the narrative that we want in terms of how the players go about things. Listen, I'll enjoy it when we've been promoted, and then if that ever happens, then once that happens to Kate, we want to be champions, don't we? So there'll always be things that go on over the course of the season. I remember, like I say, quite a while back now, having won the league at a previous club a few games before the end of the season. Did that change the fact that I wanted to win the next games? Did it change my frustration? No, I wish it did, but it didn't. And maybe if that's the case, I just don't turn up and go and do something different on a Saturday afternoon, so I don't have my blood pressure going above where it should be. Because listen, I want us to be brilliant, because I know what the players can do. I want us to win convincingly every game, and regardless of where we sit in the league and what opposite, that won't change. That's just me. It's something, like I said before, I need to get better at, but I'm not sure I ever will.
Listen, 3 wins in a row and 3 clean sheets. Well done. Top man. Thank you very much.